Hey Hearties, welcome back to the channel where we're diving deep into Season 12, Episode 8, titled The Show Must Go On. This episode may have had a slower pace, but it was packed with emotional depth and character-driven storytelling. By the end, it became clear. We are heading towards some major revelations that could shape the future of Hope Valley. So let's get into it. First up, we have Rosemary's highly anticipated production of The Importance of Being Earnest, which is being broadcast on the radio. This is a significant milestone, not only for Rosemary as a producer, but also for Hope Valley's cultural evolution. The transition from traditional theater to radio showcases a shift in the town's ability to reach a broader audience, and it highlights Rosemary's adaptability and ambition. However, as expected, things don't go exactly as planned. The broadcast is filled with minor hiccups that, in true When Calls the Heart fashion, create both tension and humor. Microphones cut out unexpectedly, actors miss their cues, and an amusing incident involving a misplaced sound effect leads to a moment of comic relief. We see Rosemary handling the unexpected challenges with her characteristic flair, proving yet again why she's one of the most dynamic characters in the series. She remains composed under pressure, adjusting on the fly and ensuring the show continues. While Rosemary thrives in the spotlight, another significant moment unfolds, one that shifts the focus to Fiona, who ultimately takes a step toward her own personal journey. More on that in a bit. One of the most compelling storylines in this episode revolves around Edie Martell. As we spend more time with her, we begin to truly understand the weight she carries. Played brilliantly by Miranda McDougal, Edie is not just another newcomer to Hope Valley. She's a woman haunted by her past and bound by responsibilities she never asked for. We've seen glimpses of her struggles in previous episodes, but The Show Must Go On reveals just how much Edie is battling against forces beyond her control. She's trying to make a name for herself, but more importantly, she's trying to survive. The burden of her uncle's debt looms over her, influencing every decision she makes. This debt is not just a financial issue, it's a chain that keeps her from following her own path. She finds herself torn between honoring family obligations and pursuing a future that is truly her own. And then, there's the coin mystery. Until now, this subplot has been somewhat of a slow burn, but with the revelation that it might be tied to Edie's uncle, everything changes. Could this be the key to her freedom, or will it drag her deeper into conflict? A tense scene in which she discovers a hidden ledger in her uncle's old belongings suggests that there may be more at play than just unpaid debts. The stakes have never been higher, and the intrigue surrounding this storyline just doubled. Interestingly, Edie's struggles mirror those of Lucas, making their dynamic even more fascinating. We've watched Lucas wrestle with his past, his ambitions, and his role in Hope Valley. There was a time when he made decisions that weren't always in his best interest, learning through trial and error who he truly wanted to be. Now, Lucas stands as a man who understands the cost of his choices. He no longer fears making enemies. His focus is on the people who need him, those whose voices are being ignored by those in power. That's what makes his interactions with Edie so compelling. He sees in her a reflection of his past struggles, and perhaps even a path to redemption for both of them. When Lucas notices that Edie isn't showing her usual tell during their conversation, a nervous habit she usually exhibits when lying, it's a powerful moment. It suggests that she finally trusts him, and it also hints at deeper layers of vulnerability between the two. And speaking of characters fighting for what's right, Allie takes a stand in this episode, and Lucas backs her up in the most heartwarming way. While he has plenty to deal with in his political career, he refuses to let bureaucracy silence those who deserve to be heard. Allie, passionate and determined, fights to get fair treatment for a friend at school. When she realizes an unfair rule is preventing students from accessing important learning opportunities, she refuses to back down. Lucas supports her efforts, using his influence to ensure that change is enacted. His unwavering commitment to Allie's cause is one of the most touching aspects of this episode, and it's proof of just how much he has grown. This isn't just about politics for Lucas. It's about integrity. It's about making sure that the right voices are heard, even if it means standing up against those in power. And the fact that he's doing this not out of obligation, but because it's the right thing to do, makes his character arc even more compelling. Now, let's talk about Fiona. From the moment she arrived in Hope Valley, she's been one of the most fiercely independent and determined characters on the show. Her journey has been about carving her own path, never settling, and always striving for something more. In The Show Must Go On, she makes a decision that's both bittersweet and empowering. She's leaving for Seattle to take on a bigger role in the radio industry, an opportunity she can't pass up. The moment she shares her decision with Rosemary is especially emotional, as the two women reflect on their journeys and the paths they've chosen. And let's not forget, Kayla Wallace has been absolutely phenomenal in this role. Her departure stings, but it's also a testament to how well the writers have developed her character. Fiona's story isn't ending, it's evolving, and that's something to celebrate. Nathan and Elizabeth might not be at the center of this episode, but their moments together are beautifully intimate. Love isn't just about big declarations, it's about the quiet moments of support, the small gestures that show you care. Nathan understands Elizabeth's doubts, but he also sees her for who she truly is, a remarkable teacher, a dedicated mother, and a woman who deserves to believe in herself as much as he does. The scene where he simply listens to her vent about her day and then makes dinner, that's love, that's partnership, and it's these moments that make their relationship so special. At its core, the show Must Go On is about resilience, growth, and the beauty of unexpected outcomes. Not everything goes as planned, but sometimes the detours lead to something even greater. Whether it's a radio show reaching new heights, a young girl standing up for justice, or two people finding comfort in each other, this episode reminds us that the people by our side make all the difference. So, Hearties, what are your thoughts? Are you intrigued by Edie's backstory? How do you feel about Fiona's departure? And where do you think Lucas's journey will take him next? Let's discuss in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more When Calls the Heart recaps and deep dives.